Hey, it's Kurt at the Top Corner Hockey Studios, Top Corner Hockey on Facebook, Top Corner Kurt on Instagram. Thanks for watching. The other day, I provided you with my 2017 NHL Playoff predictions. That video is already uploaded. And at that time, I introduced you to my friends into a game that we've been playing for years called Playoff Predictions. It's a simple game. You pick the winner of each playoff series, you receive 1 point, and the winner with the most points at the end is the winner. This video is to show you what my friends have chosen for the first round of the playoffs and hopefully get you guys involved. Now, if you'd like, you can decide with one of us whose picks you think are the best, or you can just submit your own in the comments. Either way would be great to get your participation with my friends and I in playoff predictions. Let's show you what my friends are up to. All right, let's start with Beezer. In the East, he's picking Washington over Toronto in 6 games. He's saying the Rangers will top the Habs in 7 long games. He believes that the Blue Jackets will advance past the first round for the first time in their history, and that Boston will go past Ottawa in 6 games. Out West, Beezer thinks the Blackhawks will go past Nashville in 7 games. He thinks Anaheim will top Calgary in 5. Beezer believes Minnesota is good for a win over St. Louis in 6 games, and he thinks the Sharks will topple the Young Oilers in 6 games. All right, Ben Dog, he also believes that the Capitals are better than the Maple Leafs and that Washington will win in 5 games. He's saying Montreal will beat the Rangers in 6. He thinks the defending Stanley Cup champion Pittsburgh Penguins are good enough for at least 1 round. They'll beat the Blue Jackets in 7. And Ben Dog thinks that Boston will get past Ottawa in 5 games. In the West, Ben Dog is a big believer in the Blackhawks. He thinks they'll sweep Nashville. He also thinks Nashville will breeze past Calgary in 5 games. He thinks the Blues are going to go 7 long games but eventually beat the Wild. And not surprisingly, Ben Dog is picking his Oilers over the Sharks in 5 games. His royal buffness. In the East, he's saying Caps over Leafs in 5 games. He thinks that the Canadiens will best the Rangers in 6. Buff Dude likes the Penguins to continue their march, and they'll beat the Jackets in 6 games. And he likes Boston over Ottawa in 5. Buff Dude likewise likes the Blackhawks to beat the Predators. He thinks that the Ducks will topple the Flames in 6 games. Buff Dude likes the Blues. He thinks they'll beat Minnesota. And he's also thinks that Edmonton will beat San Jose in 6 games. Coons thinks that the Caps will sweep the Leafs. The Rangers will get past Montreal in 7 games. He likes the Blue Jackets over the Penguins in 6. And Coons, a huge Bruins fan, he thinks that his team will beat Ottawa in 7 games. Coons likes the Blackhawks in the West to beat Nashville in 6. He thinks Anaheim will only need 5 games to bury the Flames. He admits it was tough for him, but he thinks the Wild are better than the Blues and they'll win in 7. And Coons likes Edmonton in 5 games over San Jose. Like I said in my video the other day, I gave you a detailed breakdown of each series. Quickly though, as a recap, I'm picking Washington in 5, Montreal in 6, the Blue Jackets in 7, Boston to sweep Ottawa in 4. Out West, I like Chicago in 5. I like Anaheim in 6 games over Calgary. I think Minnesota will get past St. Louis rather easily in 5 games. And Edmonton will advance and beat San Jose in 7 games. All right, Joel, he thinks that the Capitals will sweep the Leafs. He thinks Montreal is good enough to beat the Rangers in 7. He likes Pittsburgh in 6. And to my surprise, because Joel is also a massive Boston Bruins fan, he thinks Ottawa will beat Boston in 6. In the Western Conference, Joel thinks the Blackhawks will beat the Preds in 6. He likes Anaheim in 5 games over Calgary, the Wild in 6 games over the Blues, and the Oilers to beat the Sharks in 5 games. Poor Mitch. She's always near the bottom of these things, but she's never given up, that's for sure. If we gave out points for trying hard, Mitch would earn a lot more. Well, this year, Mitch likes the Capitals in 5. She's picking her team, the Montreal Canadiens, in 7 games over the Rangers. She thinks Pittsburgh will have an easy time with the Blue Jackets and win in 5. And she thinks Boston will have no trouble with Ottawa, as the Bruins will take it in 5 games. Mitch kind of surprised me with her pick in the West. She thinks it'll take Chicago 7 long games to beat the Predators. She thinks the Ducks will beat the Flames in 6, the Wild over the Blues in 7, and she's picking San Jose to sweep Edmonton in 4 games. Noller, he's looking for a sweep from Washington over Toronto. Noller also thinks Montreal will have their hands full, but managed to beat New York in 7. Likewise, Noller thinks that the Blue Jackets will need to go the distance with Pittsburgh, but eventually win. He's picking the Bruins to beat the Senators in 5. Noller likes the Blackhawks in 6 over Nashville, Anaheim to beat Calgary in 5. The Wild in a long series with St. Louis, but Minnesota winning in 7. And he's picking the Oilers to win in 6 games. Renee, like most of us, thinks Washington will have an easy time with Toronto and win in 5 games. As a Habs fan, I think she's throwing the Leafs a bone there. Renee likes Montreal, not surprisingly, to beat the Rangers in 5 games. Pittsburgh will beat Columbus, in her opinion, in 6. She likes Ottawa to beat Boston in 5. In the Western Conference, Renee is picking the Blackhawks in 6. She thinks Calgary will top Anaheim in 7 games. Renee likes the Wild in 6 over the Blues and the Sharks in 6 over Edmonton. And last year's champion, Venkman, he was 12-3 last year. That's going to be tough to beat. Venkman is picking the Capitals in 6, the Rangers in 6, the Penguins in 7, the Bruins in 5. He likes Chicago in 7, Anaheim in 6 games, Minnesota in 5 games, and he's picking the Young Oilers in 7 games to beat San Jose. Hey, so there you have it. Those are our choices for the 2017 NHL playoff picks with my friends and I. Please join us as we play this game. I would love to see some of your picks in the comments, or pick one of us who you're siding with to see who's going to win this series. Please continue to like and subscribe. I'm Kurt. This is Top Corner Hockey. Thanks for watching. See you next time.